All right, Anand, welcome to our Selenium training using .NET. Okay, so we are going to explore on basics of .NET as well in our
Mm-hmm.
training session. Then we will go
Mm-hmm.
and start working with Selenium RC, and then we'll go and explore on Selenium WebDriver, and then we will explore our knowledge on designing some of the frameworks. Okay,
Okay.
I'm not sure, what all the frameworks that .NET people are using. It might be some Cucumber framework or something like that. But in our training session, we will be exploring on keyword-driven, hybrid-driven, and data-driven. If possible, I will, we will go and explore on Cucumber framework as well. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So let us go and start our today's session from the basics. Okay, what is software testing? Software testing is a process of verification and validation to ensure a defect-free application to the client. And do you have any knowledge on manual testing stuff?
Yeah, I'm already working as a test consultant.
Oh,
And
that's good.
yeah, so
Okay, so we
yeah,
don't have to go and explore a lot on the manual testing on the basic stuff, right? So we'll
yeah,
just go
not
and
at
have a
all.
walkthrough. We'll just go and have a walkthrough on this PPTs. Okay?
Okay. Will you be sharing your whatever software material you're showing me through screen share now? Will it be available to me later on, or do I need to make notes?
You don't have to make any notes. I'll be sharing all these PPTs with you. We will be sharing the recorded videos with you as well. If you have
Okay.
any queries in the future going forward, you can
Mm-hmm.
just go back to the recorded videos which you have downloaded, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Okay.
can refresh your knowledge, okay? You don't have to make any notes or write down. Just concentrate on what I am saying and what I am explaining. That's all right. So let us go and have a quick walkthrough on the manual testing stuff. Then we will on the basic manual testing as well as the automation testing stuff as well. Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, what is software testing? Software testing is a process of verification and validation. Here we are going to ensure the client saying that the application which we are going to release him is a defect-free application. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Then, what is manual testing and automation testing? Performing testing on the application or product with the human interaction is called manual testing. Yes, out here in manual testing, we are going to interact with the application directly through the keyboard and with the mouse, right? That is
Mm-hmm.
something called as a manual testing. And
Yeah.
what is automation testing? Performing testing on the application or product with the help of some third-party tool is called automation testing. When I talk about third-party tool, there are n number of third-party tools in the market. Presently, we are exploring on Selenium tool. We do have QTP tool, which is a functional testing tool as well. Apart from that, there are n number of tools in the market as well. So based on the requirements, based on the client requirement, we will go and suggest the tools. Okay. So
Okay.
probably most of the projects are using QTP as well as Selenium tool for automation. Okay, for doing their
Okay.
functional testing. Fine. Then let us go and explore on advantages of automation testing. Advantages of automation testing are repeatability, time saving, reducing manpower, accuracy, and reduce the production defects. Okay. So repeatability is something that if we have some repeatability task, there we are
Yeah.
going to use this automation testing.
Mm-hmm.
And by using automation testing tools, it is going to save a lot of time for us. Okay. And it also reduces the manpower. And by using automation tool, we are going to test the application with more accuracy. Okay, more accurately we
Mm-hmm.
are going to test the application, and we are not going to miss any defects over it. So it is also reducing the production defects. And since there are advantages, there will be disadvantages of automation as well. So license cost of the tool, basically Selenium is an open source tool, wherein when we are working with Selenium with .NET tool might not be a free version, I guess, right?
Right.
That is Microsoft Visual Studio is not a free version. Okay, but Selenium itself is a free version. Okay, what is Selenium? Selenium is nothing but we do have some DLL files wherein we are going to configure with the Microsoft Visual Studio, and then we are going to use those DLL files, I mean related classes and all the methods over there in the Microsoft Visual Studio tools. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I've not downloaded the links from Selenium just to be sure that I'm doing it the right thing, but I have got the Microsoft Visual Studio 2012 version
Yeah,
configured on my laptop.
yeah, not a problem. So we'll go and work with Selenium. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll go and work with Selenium. How we are going to download the jar files of Selenium.
Yeah,
DLL files of Selenium, and then how we are going to configure the Selenium DLL files with our
yeah,
Microsoft Visual Studio project and all this that we are going to explore in our real-time exercise. Okay. once we
Okay.
go and step into our Selenium. Initially, we'll go and explore on our Selenium IDE. Then we will go and explore our knowledge on basics of .NET. Okay, basic concepts of .NET. Okay, once you are good enough in basics of .NET, working with .NET, and executing the programs and the logic, then we can go and start working on Selenium with .NET. Okay.
Okay.
So that is how my training process goes on. It is same with the Java as well. Okay, fine.
Okay.
So license here, as I told you, license cost of the tool is very high. Yes. So, but as I told you, Selenium is a freeware, but when you compare with Qtp, Qtp is a license tool. That is the reason it has mentioned license cost of the tool. So, not all the tools are open source. Open source in the sense that it doesn't require any license. They are freeware. Okay. So not all the tools are open source. Then lack of technical knowledge of the resource. Yes, lack of technical knowledge in the sense, so we have to go and explore our knowledge. See, as of now, we are exploring our knowledge on .NET, right? So you should have basic knowledge on the .NET. Okay, say if you're working on Java, you should have a basic knowledge on Java. If you're working on PHP coding, then you have to go and work on, you should have a knowledge. You should have a basic knowledge on how to work with PHP, Pascal, Ruby, whatever the knowledge is. Okay, so at least you should have one technical knowledge so that you can go and work with the tool. Okay, then will support for all the technology, will not support for all the technologies. Yes, so automation tools may not be supporting for all the technologies. They may be supporting for the limited technologies as well. Okay,
Okay.
technologies in the sense the application which we are developing, like some of the applications are developed with respect to Java technology, some with a .NET, some with Drupal, some with Joomla, some with PHP, some with C programming, right? So a lot of technologies may be used to work to implement the application. So basically, automation tools, some of the automation tools may not be supporting all the technologies. Okay,
Okay.
fine. Then we do have different types of automation tools. As per the usage, automation tools are divided into three types, that is functional testing tool, test management tool, and performance tool. Okay, now coming to functional testing tool. In functional testing tool, what is functional testing tool? See, with the help of this functional testing tool, we are going to perform functional testing and regression testing on the application. Since you are from manual testing, okay, since you have good experience into manual testing as well, so you might be knowing what is functional testing
Yeah.
and what is regression testing, right? Regression testing is we are going to test and we are going to execute all the test cases that we have designed with respect to the functionalities, right?
Right.
So basically, functional testing tool is nothing but we are going to execute the functional test cases as well as the regression test cases out here. Coming to test management tool, in the test management tool, we are going to maintain the entire testing activity over there using test management tool. For example, a quality center tool or a Zira. Okay, if you take a Zira, do you ever explore on Zira?
No, I've worked on Bugzilla, Quality Center, and Volbugs.
Oh, okay, fine. Bugzilla is not a test management tool because Bugzilla is just
it's user reporting tool.
Yeah, it's just a defect tracking tool. Okay. Well, coming to quality center tool, in the quality center tool, we can manage the requirements that we have gathered in the requirements tab, and then we can also go and design the test cases in the test plan tab, and then we can execute the test cases in the test lab tab, and we can go and post our defects in the defects tab, right? So since we are going to maintain entire testing activity over there, we can see that is a test management tool. Okay. And coming to performance tool is nothing but here we are going to look into the application stability over there with respect to the load and stress on the application. Okay.
Right.
Say for example, if I am going to have some 10,000 users logged into one of the application, I just want to verify whether the application is still stable or it is going to hang. Okay.
Yeah.
So there we are going to test the performance of the application. Or else, let us say for example, if you take a Gmail application, once you enter your login credentials over there into the Gmail login page, once you click on sign in button, how long the tool is taking you to navigate from the Gmail login page to the inbox page. If it is taking more than 1 minute or 2 minutes, then it is a performance issue, right?
Right.
So probably once you hit on the button, how soon the tool is taking you to the next page. Okay, all this comes into the performance tool. Okay, here we are going to validate the performance of the application, how it is going to work. And to work on the performance tool, we do have good tools like load runner. Okay, to work with the load runner, we should have good knowledge on C programming and Apache JMeter. To work with the JMeter, we should have good knowledge on Java. Okay, core Java stuff. Got it?
Yep.
So if you choose any tool, like in the market, if you go and choose any tool, based upon the tool, you should have the technical knowledge, right?
Right.
Fine. Now let us go and look into Selenium. Basics of Selenium. Selenium is the functional regression testing tool for the web-based application. If, as I told you, Selenium is a functional and regression testing tool. When I said functional regression testing tool, what is that we are going to do? We are going to test the functional test cases. We are going to execute the functional test cases over there, and then we are going to execute the regression test cases. What do you mean by regression test cases? See, the test cases which have failed in the manual testing, along with the functional test cases, that comes into regression test cases, right? That is what we are going to test, right? That is what we are going to perform regression testing over there when we are working with the manual testing. When we are working in manual testing, we are going to perform regression testing. On what test cases we are going to perform regression testing? Only on the functional test cases and on the test cases which has failed in manual testing, right?
Right.
Fine. So when it comes to Selenium, Selenium is totally a web-based application tool, wherein we are going to perform the cross-browser testing over there, okay, on any of the web-based application. We cannot go and automate any Windows-based application. Windows-based application, in the sense I told you in the demo session, right? Like you do have a PC game and you have to go and install it, and you have to go and click on the icon, then you can go and play your PC. But if to work with a web-based application, you should have a browser support. Either it may be an Internet Explorer or a Firefox browser or a Chrome, Opera or Safari, whatever, right? And the Selenium is a functional testing tool, functional regression testing tool for the web-based application, and it is developed by Jason Huggins. Jason Huggins and team are the Java developers, okay, and they designed a framework to perform their unit testing. Unit testing is something that comes into development end, okay. So development people, if they want to go and validate whether whatever the functionality, whatever the task that has assigned to them is done completely or perfectly or not, for to test the implementations or to test the recent modifications or recent changes in the code, they are going to perform unit testing. First, initially they used to perform unit testing. If everything goes fine, then they used to merge the build from the development server to the QA server, okay, wherein we are going to automate it, okay. So Jason Huggins and team are the Java development team. They used to work for a company called ThoughtWorks company in the year 2004, and the original name of Selenium tool is JSFT. JSFT stands for JavaScript Functional Testing, okay. Since Jason Huggins and team are the Java developers, they have performed, they implemented their framework by using JavaScript, okay. So that is something called as JavaScript functional testing. And later on, with some modifications, we can also use PHP, Ruby, .NET, okay, all these for the Selenium, okay, fine. Then Selenium supports multiple languages like Java, .NET, PHP, Perl, Ruby, Python, Pascal, etc. A lot of technical languages Selenium is going to support. Then we do have advantages of Selenium. What is the advantage of Selenium? Selenium is an open source tool. Yes, when I said open source tool, we don't have to go and purchase any license for Selenium tool. Okay, and Selenium supports all the browsers like Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, Opera, Safari, etc. Okay, we can go and implement any of the, we can go and test any of the any of the browsers. Okay, and Selenium supports all the operating systems like Windows, Unix, Mac, etc. So and work with any of the operating systems using Selenium. And Selenium gonna support multiple languages, as I told you. We can build both inbuilt frameworks and user-defined frameworks using Selenium. Yes, inbuilt frameworks and user-defined frameworks that we are going to work on, that we will explore on going forward. Okay. Then Disadvantages of Selenium are Selenium supports only web-based application, and this is the main disadvantage because it doesn't support Windows applications. Okay, fine. Then Selenium is a combination of multiple components, so the configuration and utilization is a bit tricky. Yes, obviously the configuration and utilization of the Selenium tool is a bit tricky. Okay, and Selenium supports the multiple languages, so that we should have more technical knowledge. Since it does support multiple languages, you should have more technical knowledge. Apart from .NET, you can also go and explore your knowledge on Java. You can also go and explore your knowledge on PHP, Python. Okay, what
Okay.
it depends. It depends upon it depends upon your interest. Okay, fine. Lack of technical resources is lack of technical resources in the sense there won't be a lot of people who used to who have good knowledge working on the Selenium tool in the market. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Let us go and look into the difference between a QTP tool and Selenium tool. As I told you, QTP tool and Selenium tool both are automation tools. Both are functional testing tools. Okay. Wherein,
Yes.
let us go and look into the difference between QTP and Selenium. QTP is a licensed tool, wherein Selenium is an open source tool. And this is required by Mercury Intra Corporation. So as I told you, QTP is a licensed tool and Selenium is an open source tool. QTP is developed by Mercury Intra Corporation, and now Hewlett's packages people have they acquired called Mercury Intra Corporation, and now the QTP tool is handled by Hewlett's packages. Wherein Selenium, this is developed by this is an open source tool and developed by Jason Hughes and team from the ThoughtWorks company. Okay. Then QTP supports VB scripting and Java scripting, wherein Selenium supports multiple languages. Okay, and QTP supports only Windows-based applications, Windows operating systems. What I mean to say. Okay, so QTP, if you want to work with QTP tool, I should go and work only with the Windows operating systems. But with Selenium, we can go and work with Windows, Linux, Mac, any of the operating system. Okay.
Okay.
Understood? Are you able to follow me? Am I going fast?
No, it's fine. We have already covered these slides in
Yeah,
our
we are
first
already
demo.
covered it. That is the reason I just because it's been a long time that I just want to refresh your knowledge as well. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Then QTP supports Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome browsers, and Selenium supports all the browsers. And there is a dedicated location called object repository to work with QTP. Okay, wherein we are going to store all the properties and values of the objects. Where in Selenium, there is no dedicated location to store the properties and values of the objects in Selenium, but in Selenium, we used to call the objects. We are not going to call them as objects, we are going to call them as web elements. Okay. All the elements that we are going to find in any of the application, that is either a link, a edit box, a text box, a button, a radio button, a drop down list, or an image, everything is termed as a web element over here. Fine. We can implement only user-defined frameworks using QTP. Okay, only user-defined frameworks are developed using QTP. But in Selenium, we can have both user-defined and inbuilt frameworks. Okay, built-in frameworks.
Okay. Yes.
We can directly integrate with test management tool like Quality Center tool from QTP. Yes. There in the QTP tool, you do have a Quality Center tool which has been integrated directly to go and post the defects from the QTP tool to the Quality Center tool's defects. But in Selenium, we don't have such type of integration. Okay?
Okay.
Fine. Let us go and look into Selenium components. So basically, Selenium is a combination of multiple components, and majorly there are 4 different types of components available: Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. So here in our training session, we will be exploring our knowledge on Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, and Selenium WebDriver. And Selenium Grid is not covered because this is something called as a performance testing tool. To work with Selenium Grid, we should have multiple systems. Okay. And since this is an online training, I cannot show you the multiple systems configurations, and I cannot work, right?
Okay.
Fine. Yeah. So what is Selenium IDE? IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Okay. Let us go and explore our knowledge on Selenium IDE as of now. So Selenium IDE is the record and a playback tool for the web-based application, and this is the add-on for the Firefox browser. That means we can install the IDE in the Firefox browser, launch the IDE from the Firefox browser, design the scripts, and execute the scripts. Let us go and see how I am going to download this. Let me go and open my browser. Let me go and open seleniumhq.org. So out here, this is the official website of Selenium, wherein we can go and have all the DLL files and all the softwares from the related to Selenium. Okay, and when you go to the downloads out here, click on downloads. You can see Selenium standalone server, right?
Yes.
That is for RC. Okay, remote control. What we gonna do? You can see Selenium IDE out here. Okay.
Yes.
So I can go and download the Selenium IDE, download latest version of Selenium. Okay, you need to click on this, you need to download this, and once you have installed it, you can find in the browser. See, this is a Firefox browser, and Selenium IDE is going to support only on the Firefox browser. You cannot go and work on Selenium IDE on any of other browsers like Internet Explorer, Chrome, Opera, or Safari, because Selenium IDE by default is going to support for the Firefox browser only. Okay, and once you have configured and installed the Selenium, okay, Selenium IDE, it is just an add-on, it is just a plugin. Okay, so you can see in the tools you can find Selenium IDE.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Yeah, once you click on the Selenium IDE, it is going to open your Selenium IDE tool, wherein you can go and record and playback. Okay, so this is the UI of our Selenium IDE tool. Okay, this is the UI, wherein on the right side corner, you have a record and a playback button, and you can also slow down or faster your script execution. You do have the base URL, wherein you are going to put the URL over there. You do have the command target and a value over here, wherein in the commands you will be performing all the operations. Okay, in the target, this is nothing but the locators wherein you are going to identify the web elements in the application, the position of the web element or the reference of the web elements, and the value is the value that you are going to input the data over there into the application. All right?
All right.
Fine. So let us go and automate and see one of the application. Let me go and open something like facebook.com. I am going to start recording. See, I have started recording out here. Now out here, what I am going to do, I would like to go and enter some value, say something plus TEST testing, and in the password I will say testing. I like to check the checkbox. I like to provide some data over there. In the first name as well, I will say test. Out here in the month, let us go and say something called as August 20, say 1990, and check the checkbox, radio button as mail, and then go and uncheck the checkbox. Fine. Let us go and see what happens. Selenium IDE is going to record everything over there. Now I am going to stop recording. Okay?
Okay.
Understood? Now what I am going to do, let me go. Now you can see out here, let me go and record this. Okay. What is that I am going to do initially? I am going to type, right? Where is that I am going to type? I am going to type. What is the operation that I am going to do? It is the command that comes into the command. Type, select, click, all that comes into this command column. Okay?
Okay.
And the target is nothing but where in this application I do have multiple edit boxes. Okay? I do see, you can see there are multiple edit boxes. Now how can my Selenium tool will come to know that it has to go and enter one in this text box only? Why not here? Even this is a text box, this is a text box, right? How can my Selenium tool will come to know that it has to go and enter the value only in here, in this text box, and not here? By using the target. Target is nothing but the location of that particular element or the identification of that particular element. Okay?
Okay.
So every element in this application does have unique identifications. Okay? So we are going to work with those identifications only, and we are going to automate it. For an email edit box, the unique identification is ID is equals to email. And if you go and click on this drop down at the target, you can see ID is equals to email, name is email, CSS is hash email, input is XPath, form is something. Okay, so you can pick any of them from here. Okay, you can pick any of them. Like if you want to go with name, I can go with name is equals to email. Okay, also here I can place password is equals to email. Now if I go and run it, it will go and work. Okay, because these are the unique identifications what I told you. Okay, so based on these unique identifications, tool will go and identify the element in the application and it will go and automate it. Clear?
Clear.
And the value, as I told you, it is nothing but the input data whatever we are going to provide. Okay, see out here in the email edit box, I am going to provide testing, password I am going to provide testing, first name I am going to provide, second name, last name is test, and then the what is this, mobile number or something like that, right? Mobile number and email, and then confirm email. Then August, I'm going to select the birthday, that is August, and the day is 20, year is 1990. Okay, that's it. Okay, so all these are something called as the command target and value, and this is how we are going to automate using Selenium ID. Let me go and run it. Okay, let me go and run it and show you how it is going to. Let me go and minimize this as well. Now you can see Selenium is going to reload the Facebook application. You can see it is going to enter the values over there. Parallelly, if you identify, see all the background, whatever the steps that it is going to execute, Selenium IDE, the background color is over there is a light green color, and after the results you can see runs is equals to 1, and you can also find the results in the logger file saying test case passed. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of the test case. Let us say this is one of the functional test case wherein I have to that nothing but a form filling. Okay, and then if I want to click on any of the link over there, and if it is navigating to some other page, or if it is taking me to some other page, then I should go and validate it. Answer. Fine. So this is how we are going to work with Selenium IDE. Let us go and explore more on Selenium IDE as well. Coming to the locators. Locators are nothing but the identifications of the elements in the web-based application. So these are very important in our automation. Okay, these are the basic concepts and these are pretty much important. Without identifying any locators, without knowing how to identify the locators or what is a locator to go and automate, we cannot go and work on any of the web elements. You cannot go and automate it, right? You cannot enter a value in the text box if you don't know the locator of that particular text box, right?
Yes.
In the application, in the web-based application, if you want to go and click on any of the link, if you don't know the location of that link, say there are multiple links, if you don't know the location of that link, then you cannot go and click on that link. So locators plays a major role over here in our Selenium training. Locators are nothing but the identifications of the elements in the web-based application. These identifications we call it as a locator. There are different locators we are using to identify the elements in the application. Okay, what are the different locators? I can go and identify the element with respect to ID, with respect to name, identifier, link, XPath, CSS, DOM. All these are the different locators. Okay, all these are the different identifications of that particular locators. Okay, see, in our case, we do have. Let us go back. If I go to email edit box out here, I can find ID, name, CSS, and XPaths only. I don't have DOM or link or something. Okay, link or identifier I don't have, right? So see, every element does have some unique identifications, and based on those unique identifications, we are going to capture those unique identifications of that locator of that unique identifications of the particular web element, and we are going to use that identification into automate the application. Okay, so let us say, for example, as I told you in our demonstration, like if you want to point to a if you went to a class of kids, okay, wherein you say if there are group of kids over there at your home. Okay. Say if you want to point to one of the kids, so how can you call him? You can either call him, or if it is a class, let us say it is a classroom, okay, and there are some n number of kids over there, and if you want to point to one kid, how can you call him? You can call him if you know his name, right?
Yes.
If you know his name, you can easily point to him. You can call him. If not, you can call him with his roll number, right? If you know his roll number, you can call him with his roll number. If not, you can call him with his parents, surname or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are nothing but the unique identifications. Okay. So even the locators, we do have. It is not mandatory that we have all these identifications for all the web elements. Okay. Yes, I believe that some of the web elements does not have all these identifications. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going with only few identifications, not with all the identifications. If you identify any unique identification, like if you identify an element with respect to ID, then go and select with ID. If you identify an element with respect to name, then go and work with the name. Okay, it's not that you have to go and choose some complex identification and work. All right.
All right.
Fine. So to see the locators of the elements in the application, we need to install Firebug. Okay. So Firebug is an add-on for Firefox browser, and by using this Firebug, we can see the list of the locators of the elements in the Firefox browser. Let us go and see. Say this is my Facebook application. All right. And we have to go and configure Firebug. I told you like how to go and configure it in our demo session. Do I?
It's an open source, right?
Sorry?
It's an open source again, right?
Yeah, Firebug is an open source. Okay.
Yeah.
You just have to Google it. Okay.
Right.
Just have to
Right.
Google it. Firebug for Firefox browser, and then download it. Okay. Install it. It's
Yeah.
just an add-on. You can find a bug icon out here. Okay. In the browser, when you open your browser, you can find a
Yes.
bug icon. Could you able to see on the right top corner?
Yes.
Yes. Now, if once you go and click on it, it will go and open the Firebug. Now, with respect to the Firebug, I can go and identify the element. It's not that always I take the support of the Selenium IDE. Okay.
Yes.
This is the direct way to identify the elements. How can I go and directly identify the elements? See, this is the Firefox. This is the Firebug, and here in the Firebug, I do have an arrow. I have to click on this arrow, point to that particular web element wherein I have to go and get the identification. I am going to get the identification of this email edit box. Now you can see ID is equals to email, name is equals to email. All these are available. Now I can use any of this. Either ID is equals to email or name is equals to email. See, you cannot go with class, type, and all this because
Right.
those are
There are
not
many.
available. Those are not supported in our locators out here. Okay.
Okay.
So if you go and work with this, if you go and capture this locators like class is equals to input text, it is not going to work for you. Okay. With the time when you are executing the script, it will not work for you. Only the thing is that you should go with the identifications which is specified over here. Clear?
Okay.
Fine.